Hello friends, welcome back. Today I'm doing look number 6 with the Wet n Wild Always Naked palettes. I wanted to do a really smoky, dramatic, just glam makeup look. If you haven't seen the other looks that I have done, I'll have the playlist linked above, and I'm planning on doing 2 more looks with this palette. So I decided that I was going to show you guys like these today in creating like a smoky look. So these are shadow shields. I got these off of Amazon. And I just thought about using these today because I recently did some wedding makeup. If you're not really skilled with getting a crisp line out here or doing like a winged eyeliner, this is like the tool that you need. So I'm just gonna put this here underneath my eye. You wanna put it at the corner of your eye to the corner of your brow, like that. And you wanna make sure that they're even on either side here. Okay, yeah, I think that looks pretty even. I need to like redo my nails, but I've just been giving my fingernails like a break because I always wear like press-ons. I'm gonna use this warm peachy shade, and I'm blending that in the crease with the Morphe M332. So I'm just using just kind of windshield wiper motions to blend that in the crease. And I'm also taking a little bit of that here in the outer V. I'm gonna grab this darkest chocolate brown, and I'm just using that same brush I was using in the crease. And we're just gonna smoke this out here in the outer V. I'm just using like little circular motions here. And I kind of pull it up. I feel like this is coming unstuck. My eyes are so deep set that sometimes I feel like that doesn't want to stay stuck there because just the way that my eye socket is right there. Then on the eyelid, I'm going to go in with this dark bronze, and I'm using the Morphe M303, and I'm just going to place that there on the front part of the eyelid. Next, I'm going to take the Morphe M401 and just the angled brush side, and I'm gonna get some of that dark chocolate brown on this angled brush, and I'm going to smudge this here at the lash line just to kind of deepen this up and smoke this out a little bit more. And these shadow shields here will help to get like a really crisp edge. So that's what I'm saying about if you're not really great at getting a straight edge out there, this works so well. And I'm going to show you just how crisp of an edge that gets and how it creates like a really nice wing out there. It's perfect. So I'll have these shadow shields linked down below. You can get them pretty cheap off of Amazon. For the brow bone highlight, I'm going to use this matte cream. And that shade is pretty pigmented, so just make sure you tap the brush off really well. And then in the inner corner, I'm also going to take just a little bit of this, just to kind of lighten it up. And if you really wanted this look to be extra smoky, you could smoke out some color on the lower lash line. I'm going to skip that today just because I really like how I really like how the eyes are looking just super defined, and I don't want to smoke it out on the lower. And I'm going to be using this Maybelline Fit Me. This is in the shade Plum. And it's so funny because last week I filmed a video, best of Maybelline, like my top best Maybelline makeup products. And I used this blush in that video. And I was saying that, you know, it's not really a top favorite, but it's funny because ever since that video, I've been using this blush. So I don't know, maybe it is kind of a top favorite. I do like the shade of this. It's a nice cool toned blush, which I feel like is hard to find, especially at the drugstore. So if you are a cool skin tone and you're having trouble finding a cool toned blush, this is a good one. And it's not super intense. I mean, you can build it up to make it a bit more like brighter, but it's not as crazy intense as some of the other blushes out on the market right now, which is nice. It's just like easier to work with. I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Bronzer. I wanted to use something a little bit more warm tones than I have been using. I kind of rotate between this and the Maybelline one. I do find that this Physicians Formula is a bit more warm toned than like the Maybelline City Bronzer, or maybe it's just a little darker or something. But since I went really dark and smoky on the eyes, I wanted to make sure I used kind of a more warm toned bronzer so I didn't look too like washed out. And then for a highlight, you could skip that, but I do love a good highlight. So I'm just going to be using this CoverGirl True Blend Super Stunner palette and just this middle shade. And I'm just going to lightly put that here on the cheekbones. It's a very intense highlight. We're going full glam today. And then I'm just going back with my makeup sponge and just tapping that in, making sure things are blended. Okay, and then before I move on to lips and lashes, I'm going to go ahead and mist my face with my makeup setting spray. Oh, and something else I wanted to mention. This weekend, whenever I was doing makeup for the wedding, the mother of the groom, like her eyes were a little bit more hooded, and I was having issues even after I primed her eyelids to keep the eyeshadow from creasing. But this little trick right here, so like after you do your eyeshadow, do this step. Just take a makeup setting spray. I love the Scandinavia, the makeup finishing spray. This is the bridal one, and this is the one that I used. But if you just mist it on the eyelids, after you get the eyeshadow done like this, you just want to keep your eyelids closed like this, just so there's no like creasing while that dries, and that seriously will lock on the eyeshadow and keep it from creasing. So if you have a lot of issues with that, with hooded eyes, even if eyeshadow primers don't help, do this, and I swear it locks it on so good. It worked so well for them that day. I'm going to use the rest of this makeup setting spray to set the rest of my face. That makeup setting spray is amazing. It is the same spray that Urban Decay used to use for their all-nighter. They were doing that setting spray in collaboration with Scandinavia, and I don't know, a few months ago, Urban Decay broke away from Scandinavia and just started doing the setting spray on their own, the all-nighter. So the formulation is not the same as it used to be because Scandinavia does have a patent on that setting spray. So if you loved the all-nighter and you'd like to get the older formula, get this Scandinavia setting spray. This is that same formula. So I'll have it linked down below. You can get it off of Amazon or Scandinavia's website. So I'm just going to go ahead and curl my lashes up and then apply my mascara. And I'm just going to be using the Revlon Color Stay Full-Time Mascara. And I'm only going to use this on my upper lashes today. I'm not going to put anything on the lower. So I was debating while I was applying my mascara if I wanted to use false lashes today. But I think I do want to use them because I want to do like full glam. So if you didn't want to wear false lashes, you know, you could totally skip that, and you know, the makeup look would be like this on the eyes. But like I said, I'm going to be using false lashes, and I'm using the Ardell Faux Mink wispies today. I just cut the lash band in half, and I'm using like the last half of the lashes. So I'm going in with this Duo Lash Adhesive. This is the dark, and it's the Brush On one. And I'm just going to brush that here on the band of the lash. So you just want to lightly brush this on. Just get enough to like coat the lashes and then, or coat the lash band. And then you want to make sure like each end of the lash band has a decent amount of glue just so it will stick down. Because the corners are always the places where it's, you know, can be like a little tough for it to stick. I'll take the lash band like this and go like that to kind of like round it so it'll fit like my eyelid well. So if you have like a more rounded eye, you could do that. If it's more straight across, then, you know, you don't necessarily need to do that step. But you want to let that glue dry down for like a minute or so it can get tacky. So sometimes I'll just wave it like this or blow on it. It's like you want it to be almost dried, but not quite. And then you're going to take it and place it like this in the middle first. Then go with the end and then the front and press it down. Like that. Okay, and if you're not for sure if like that inner corner is glued down, because it's kind of hard to see, you know, on yourself sometimes, if you'll take like a mirror, like a handheld one like this, and then I take my other mirror and then I just kind of look down and kind of tilt my other mirror down like so, and just kind of look to see if it's glued, which it looks like it is, so that's good. So as you can see, like that creates more drama out here in the outer corner. Definitely adds a little bit more smokiness. Definitely gives it more of a glam. Then once I get both of the lashes on and the glue dries down, I'll go back with like the shadow that I used at the lash line and just kind of touch that up right there at the lash line. I just find that it just brings everything together. It just looks better. Kind of helps hide that lash band. And then another thing that I do as well is I'll take my mascara, and especially since these were kind of like cut in half lashes, I'll focus more of that mascara right here at the fronts of the lashes to kind of help blend my natural lashes with the false ones. Okay, and for the lips today, I wanted to do something like a little bit more sheer, but also kind of cool toned, a little bit dark. So I'm gonna be using this e.l.f. Hydrating Core Lip Shine, and I believe this is in the shade Ecstatic. So this is a nice berry plum color. It pairs so well with the blush that I used, and I might actually add just a little bit more blush. But I think that this eye look, this makeup look is just so gorgeous for a fall date night or even like fall winter makeup. I don't know, I just think it is so beautiful. And I've been so into glam makeup lately, but this is the final makeup look done. So you guys will have to let me know, do you like this full glam look? Like, I don't know, I'm really into it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this today. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I am gonna be doing 2 more looks with this. Stay tuned for those. And I hope that you guys have a great day today, and I will see you all in Thursday's video. Bye-bye.